and thank you very much for this opportunity to be in the European Parliament. It's my first time here. At Nokia, I usually evangelize around the digital home, which is all about bringing broadband not only to the home, but also into the home, and then what value-add services you can bring on top of that broadband in the home. I usually talk about topics like smart home, which are usually associated with developing or developed environments, but as I will demonstrate, it can also be very easily adapted to developing economies. The starting point is that our world is changing at an unprecedented pace, which really forces us to change our lives and adapt our lives. Now, one of the key enablers of this change is digitalisation. And digitalisation brings a connected world that really improves the way that we live, makes our lives better, healthier, more comfortable, but also more productive. However, digitalisation is not only there for a connected world, it should also be seen in a broader scope, looking also at areas such as agriculture, education, and the like. I would like to focus here a bit more on healthcare and how digitalisation, how ICT can also play a role in healthcare, or e-health as I should then refer to it. If you take the starting point to use healthcare for aging in place. Aging in place is basically allowing elder people to stay in their homes longer. But unfortunately, I'm not allowed to talk about elderly people, because even people who are 95 are not considering themselves as old. So let's just talk about aging in place. But exactly the same concept that I will explain can also be used for ill people, regardless of their age, to go home earlier from the hospital and recover in their own environment. This, for sure, is available, but also applicable to any area developing or developed environment. So how do you do that? How do you implement then this digitalization for aging in place or taking care of ill people? The starting point could be a smart home. Now, usually when I talk about a smart home, people think of home automation, home security, complex and very expensive things that needs to be implemented. Well, it doesn't have to be like that. A smart home could start with a very simple smart home controller and just add a few very simple devices to that. Take the example of a motion sensor. You can use a motion sensor, put it in the bedroom of elderly people, so that if in the middle of the night they want to get out of bed, automatically the light is switched on. Makes it much safer for them. Likewise, for ill people, you can apply the same principle. But the same motion sensors can also be used to track their movement throughout the home. You can track their activity. You can check when they go from the bedroom into the living room or into the kitchen and the like. A second very simple device is a contact sensor. You can use them to secure doors and windows, but you can also attach one of these contact sensors to the fridge so that you know when the fridge is open, so you can assume that the people had something to eat or drink. You can collect all that data and store it in the cloud. A second major component beside the smart home is a simple medical device. I'm talking here about a smart scale. A scale that to measure not only your weight, obviously, but also the same scale measures your heart rate, your body fluid percentage, body fat percentage, BMI, and you name it. Again, all that data from that one single device can be captured in the cloud. The third component is some analytics. We need to analyze that data. And again, that doesn't have to be rocket science. It's basically all about, well, if the heart rate or the blood pressure go above a particular threshold, immediately warn the doctor. If granddad gets out of bed every morning at 7 and now it's 9 and he's still sleeping, perhaps we should call the family so they can contact granddad. Or if the body fluid percentage drops 4 or 5 days consecutively, perhaps that's dehydration, so again call doctor or family. This kind of analytics can be very easily implemented. All you need is a data center somewhere. Take the principles of Google and Amazon. They have, I don't know, perhaps 10 data centers across the whole planet, serving the whole planet. So imagine you put one data center here in Brussels, just as a hypothetical example, you could serve the whole African continent with that single data center. So this sketches a little bit what you can do with ICT, apply it to a smart home combined with medical devices, enabling aging in place and the like. Now, telecom providers play a pivotal role in bringing these services to the market. They can leverage on their key strengths that they bring already, such as connectivity, communication, and they can quite easily build on those key enablers to bring aging in place or taking care of ill people as well to the market. However, I would like to point out that technology in this example is actually the simple thing about bringing aging in place to the market. The technology exists already. It can be deployed immediately. What is more important to make aging in place, as an example, more successful is the ecosystem behind it. Potentially, a service provider, a telecom provider, needs to work together with healthcare, potentially even health insurance, potentially even with other parties to make this really work. And there I foresee a very important role for an operational organization such as the European Commission to really bring together the right ecosystem and to really push forward and to make sure that this digitalization for development is becoming a success.